Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome. There's Tusk Talk with Ty on a just a random Thursday night. I told you guys it would be random, and here we are. Random. Karter Knox. We got some information on him today. A little bit surprising, but not really. Not really when you think about the kind of season that he had down the stretch, right? Kind of like Brazil. Brazil was fantastic down the stretch of things. Let's get this popped up. Boop, there it is. I did not add Karter Knox to that graphic that you see on the screen now because that just happened and I didn't upgrade the graphic. But we are going to talk about Karter Knox. We are going to discuss just what the heck is going on with old Karter Knox. What's he doing? First off, make sure you guys like, share, hit the subscribe button. I appreciate you being here. Razorback baseball taking off here in like an hour. So this will be over before the baseball game. But remember, sharing is caring. And, there's I'll just say I'm thankful that you're here. And, Patreon supporters, you guys have been just rock stars lately. Well, forever, right? Since we started Tusk Talk with Ty Patreon, you guys have been fantastic. So shout out to all you guys. And of course, Direct Service Overhead, the Garage Door Company, same day services, quality parts, affordable outcomes, better than best results. You name it, man. They could do it if it involves your garage door in Central Arkansas. There's been a little bit of a change. They're going to be down in Central Arkansas. Give them a call at 501-244-3667. Or you can check out the link provided for you down below. Again, that's hundreds of 5-star reviews, better than best results, emergency service 24/7, 365 days a year, free estimates, man. All you got to do is click on the link down below. Yeah, we're going to talk about the portal pigs. We're going to talk about what is next for both basketball and football, not just basketball. We've got some pretty interesting things happening with football in the portal. Patreon members are already well aware of what's going on here, but we've got the deets. We've got some details with some of these targets. We've got 3 names right now. Now that could have changed today. I don't know. I've been, doing my best trying to keep up with all this. It's nuts, man. You've got the Karter Knox news that just broke. You're trying to pay attention now that the window's open for football. You still got basketball going on, right? The season's still not really over. So it just keeps on going, right? What's going on, man? Hope you're doing well. What's up, Pooh Bear? Cal needs to go drop the bag on Chad Baker-Mazara. Go watch that St. John's game and tell me he doesn't give you a Duthero vibes. Yeah, listen, we'll get to that in a minute. We'll get there. I promise. Yeah. There is hold on. Sure. There we go. Okay. Answering some DMs here. SLR, well, just know SLR will be live at 6 p.m., by the way. So, let's start off first before we get too far ahead of ourselves. Let's get caught up on the Karter Knox stuff here really quick. If I can find the right. See this. I don't like having 5,000. Here we go. Let's share it. Sharing is caring. Here we go. This Overtime Elite, but Courtney Mims is the first one that I saw, but that's not what's on my page. But shout out to Courtney Mims. She was the first one that I saw that posted about Karter. But he says, "Dear Hog Nation, I want to thank you for the love and support this season. The journey has been a learning experience for me and my teammates, and for that I am grateful. To my family, your unwavering support means everything. I wouldn't be here without your love, sacrifices, and encouragement every step of the way. I'm excited to announce that I have decided to go through the 2025 NBA draft process while maintaining my college eligibility. So yes, unless the rule is changed, if he hires an agent, that is what changes. That's where he's no longer eligible. If he hires an agent, and I think there might be something in the rule book about going to a NBA team's facility too. I could be wrong about that. I swear that was a rule change that we had a few years ago. Maybe it's always been that way. I'm not sure, but I'm almost positive if you go to an NBA facility and work out in the presence of an NBA staff, that team's respective staff, that I think that makes you not having any more eligibility for the following collegiate basketball season. I don't know, man. That might be wrong. I know that the rule was forever you just couldn't hire an agent, right? Maybe you can go try out in front of another organization, a pro organization. I don't know. But there it is. Karter Knox, who was catching fire towards the end of the season. Man. Karter Knox, let's pull this up. On the year, he averages 8 points, 3 boards a game. That's what he did on the year. Wasn't anything incredible. Here it is. But it wasn't until, and we talked about this a couple of weeks ago, and this was when you play this good. I mean, even though it was in a loss against Texas Tech, when you look as good as he did, even in a game where he only had 6 points in 16 minutes, he still had some kind of an impact on the game to a degree. Even with his 6 points, so this was a game he really didn't have an impact on, but there were games where he only had 8, 10 points, whatever, but you felt his presence. Really good defender. Pretty solid two-way player. Let's crack open this Modella. I've not had this one before. I'm going to give this a shot. Oh, there we go. It's Modella Chelada with the refreshing flavors of watermelon and chili peppers. That's pretty tasty. I'm not going to lie. That's pretty damn good. I've not had this one. I've been saving these. I'll line up all the drinks in one flavor, and then I'll just go down that row and drink those. And then I'll go down the next. This is the last line of Modelo's I've not had. The Cheladas. They're so good once they hit your lips. It's not a bad drink at all. Pigpen says, I don't know how I feel or how to feel. Yeah. By the way, this is a call-in show. If you are a Tusk Talk with Ty Discord member, you call in, you're going to get some XP, and I'm going to add your name to a wheel spin that I'm going to be doing, if not tomorrow, sometime this weekend, for an opportunity of winning an autographed former Arkansas player card. So all you got to do is call in. All you got to do is click this bad boy right here. I don't know what that is. That's not the right link. Hang on. There we go. So if you're a Discord, Tusk Talk with Ty Discord member, you do not have to be a Patreon supporter to get this autographed card, to get your name added to the wheel. I'm not going to name the player. You're not going to know until we spin the wheel, but it will be it'll be a former Arkansas player that's autographed. So if you want your name added to the wheel and you want some XP in Discord, call in. He stepped up in that Ole Miss game for sure. Yeah, he did. Had several. I mean, down the stretch, Knox was a force. 17 points against A&M. He also had 5 rebounds. He's got good size, right? 6'6", 220. Let's not kid ourselves. These games, there were times you're thinking, if he keeps this up, he might test the NBA waters. In fact, I can remember us talking about it. Against Texas Tech, 20 points, 6 boards. St. John's, he had 15 points, 6 boards. So that's what you're missing. And remember, he was the guy, or he was one of the guys. I think it was really multiple players, but he was one of the guys to step up when a BroThrow was unavailable. I mean, he's an athlete too, man. Can clean up around the rim nicely. Can finish around the rim nicely. Has some distance to his game. 4 for 4 from the outside against Texas Tech. So, like, yeah, I want him back without a doubt. And I think you all do too. I know there's this like, oh, we'll be fine without him kind of mentality because it's Coach Cal, it's Arkansas. Even when Muss was here, you know, you felt pretty good about what you typically had coming back or what Muss was doing in the portal. Remember, he operated pretty damn quickly, a lot faster than Cal. But this is just not somebody I would love to see Knox back for a second year. It would not shock me if he got a good enough grade and he considered, you know, going pro, sticking with it, hiring an agent. Would not shock me at all if that was the route that Knox decides to take, if he were to do that. Yeah, I mean, he could just kind of do it all. I mean, didn't see much of his mid-range presence that I can think of off the top of my head. I haven't seen his shooting chart. I don't seem to remember thinking that, you know, he was a great mid-range guy. I'm not saying he didn't make any, but could certainly stretch the floor a little bit, could cut to the rim, could play physical, could go up and grab difficult rebounds if need be, could clean up around the basket, played really well around the post, and was a good defender. So Knox was a solid two-way player on the floor for Arkansas. And again, towards the stretch, you can argue he was a pivotal piece, especially in the absence of a BroThrow. Okay. Everyone announced they're coming back, including DJ Wagner. He stepped up. Oh, I already read that. Oh my God, Camo Gang with the all caps here. My goodness, Ty, I know you wouldn't do it because you've worked extremely hard. But chat campaigning for you to join. Wait, what? Chat campaigning for you to join Inside Arkansas. You'd fit in. What do you mean? Their chat is campaigning for me to join them? I'm not so sure. I don't know. They seem like they got a good thing going there with those guys. I have, you know, when I went to practice, I talked with a couple of those guys. Never actually met John. Seems like an okay guy. You'd fit in perfectly with them. Best thing, Arkansas, smoking. Speaking of that, I'm going to spark up a cigar here in a minute. Appreciate that. Give Ty a like. I appreciate that. Yeah. Share the content if you could. My goodness. Arkansas football, really quick before we get back into some more basketball stuff. We do have some more names to announce here. I don't know if you guys caught this tweet, and I saw War Machine talking about it. Pull this bad boy up. Did you guys see this? This is the Saturday's fit. By the way, I don't think this scrimmage is going to happen. I hate to just – I've had several people message me about meeting up with me at the game, and I hate this because there's some folks that are wanting to travel up from Central and South Arkansas, and it looks like they're going to miss out on it because of the weather. That's really unfortunate. But there it is. Look at the helmet. That's different. And I'm not going to lie to you. I like that black and white jersey, man. I like it a lot. The classic red or the white with the red trim. Of course, the red, all red is just gorgeous. That is such a good look, man. The best thing they did, the best decision they've made when it comes to the jerseys is going back to that classic look. I kind of wish basketball would just stick to one jersey combination, please. Next man up. Ty, you missing breaking news. What now? What am I missing? Oh, did Cal post something? Is that what this is? Are we going to have to watch a Cal video? Is that what you guys are talking about? Click the Cal tweet. All right, let me find it. Hang on. I love watching these with you guys. I'm always worried about the audio, though. You know, it's always all right. Let me share this. So we got something. We got some breaking news here from John Calipari. Coach Calipari. All right. Can I blow this up without it messing? Here we go.
I just met with the team, and there is a team this year. So let me go over some of the roster, what we're doing, who's going to be here. Not quite finished, but I'm feeling really good about this group.
What's up, Hog Nation? Let's run it back.
Hold up.
I'm all in.
Yo, what's good, Razorback Nation? It's TB. Just want to say I'm excited to come back and do another year on the hill. Who pick?
I'm all in, Razorback Nation. Year 2. Let's do it.
What up, though, Hog Nation? Darius Acuff here. Just here to let y'all know I'm all in, man. Let's do it.
I just wanted to give a huge shout out to all my Arkansas fans. And I really just wanted to let y'all know, Hog Nation, I'm all in.
Hog Nation, I'm all in. Let's do it.
Hello, Hog Nation. I'm all in.
And on top of that, you read today, Karter is testing the waters, which I fully agree with. That being said, I'm liking this group. I just met with the team.
Interesting. Everybody's back. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. Well, damn it. Now I got to retitle the video when we're done. I got to get a new thumbnail. Travis, someone go tag Travis on Twitter. We need a new thumbnail. Awesome. All right, there you go. Everyone's back, baby. Okay. I'll take that. There you go. Tercer says Wagner, Brazil, Richmond, running it back. Again, if you want to call in, 4K XP in Discord, and an opportunity to win an autographed card. All you got to do is call in. That's it. Hell, there could be 2 people to call in tonight. Now we're gonna do more. We're gonna get some more people to call in. We might, you know what? We might do the name whoever wins on the spin next week, so we can get a few people in here. And when there's probably going to be some other ways too to have an opportunity at this card. I knew you were. I just had a feeling. I had a feeling you were lurking in the chat there. As long as Football Pants has the stripe, as long as the Football Pants has the stripes on the football pants. Yep. Woo Pig Suey. So everybody coming back, man. That is big. So if you guys are just joining, everyone's back. Well, but Knox. He's going to test the waters. I don't know what his grade would be, by the way. I don't know. Love his athleticism. Love his size. What he can do. Again, fantastic cutter. Could clean up around the post. Showed that he could stretch the floor a little bit. You know, he could be someone that, I don't know if that's something you expect him to be great at the next level, but you just want him to be a scorer. If you just want a scorer, I think Knox can be that. Is he going to be a 2-3 year guy in the league before he kind of really starts to take off? Probably. If he were to go after this year, does he need to come back? Of course. You know where I'm at with that. I think every player could use another year, especially if you're a freshman. Good news. That's right. Man, are y'all just scared to call in? What is the deal? Someone call in. We did have someone last time, but he wasn't in our Discord. All right. Well, I put it in Discord. I put the link in there. Basketball team is stacked. They're in really good shape. I mean, there's no doubt they're in really good shape. moving forward. Now, would it be crazy if some of these guys who are talking about coming back didn't come back? Would that shock me? No. I'm not saying they're liars necessarily, but sometimes the opportunity, you get enough people whispering in your ear, right? You get enough people whispering in your ear, who knows what you're really capable of? Who knows what you really will do? But getting DJ, Billy, Brazil, that is just huge. Brazil's going to be. I don't understand the disrespect of Brazil. I saw some of that in Discord, saying he's coming off the bench. I don't know, man. I mean, do you think so? Even with your two new additions, who we're going to get into here in just a second. I don't know. Yeah. Why is it not switching? Arkansas is in really good shape, and I don't think there's any doubt. I think they're gonna keep this train moving. They're gonna keep going. I do think I still think they're gonna go after somebody. And I've got the names here of some players who I think they might take a shot at. We know they got Nick Pringle. They already got Nick Pringle. We knew this. This was happening. He was already on campus. Pringle is a Razorback. You see his numbers right there. We've gone on and on about Nick Pringle. I need to move this off the page there. There we go. There's Nick Pringle, who they already got. That's a big one. Here's a name you guys are familiar with as well. Jamir Watkins, 6'7", 210 pounds, 18 points, 6 boards a game. High, big time get out of the portal if you can do it. The last I checked, he has not committed anywhere. So Jamir Watkins is someone to keep an eye on. And the name that people kept telling me to look at, a new name, PJ Haggerty out of Memphis, the sophomore, 6'3", 191 pounds, 22 points a game, just about 6 boards, almost 4 assists. Really high percentage guy there, 47, almost 48%. PJ Haggerty, I don't know the likelihood of getting someone like this. I don't know. But Haggerty is Haggerty would be fantastic. I don't know now with us knowing what we know, how many more spots that they're going to play around with. I don't know. Let's talk about what they have. Let's look at this. So we know Nelly Davis out of eligibility, Jonas Adu out of eligibility. Adu Thero declared for the NBA draft. Boogie Flan declared for the NBA draft. Big Z going to Illinois, go play with his brother. Karter Knox, right now, do we take him off the board? I guess we can. That gives you DJ Wagner, Trevon Brazil, Billy Richmond, Darius Acuff, Malique Thomas. Really excited about Malique and Acuff. Isaiah Sealy, a little bit of size there, 6'7", right at about 200 pounds. You've got Nick Pringle and Malik Ewin, the two transfers. Ewin out of Florida State, Pringle out of South Carolina. Kareem Rattel, who's a overseas pro, 6'9". Don't have his weight right now, 6'9" something. I don't want to guesstimate too much. So you've got your older guys, you've got your core players coming back, which is huge, and then you've got some great talent coming in out of high school. Again, Acuff, Thomas, and Isaiah Sealy. Sealy most likely will not be someone. I could be wrong. I don't expect Sealy, who's out of Springdale. I don't expect him to come in and, again, might be wrong, but I just don't see him coming in and being a guy, being a rotator. I can see Acuff and Thomas coming in and getting some time right out the gate. Going to be real. It's rare that Springdale puts out a 4-star basketball player. You know, it's kind of rare, but good for them. Good for them. So that's what you have coming back. And we already mentioned Jamir Watkins as a possibility, PJ Haggerty. The other name that you guys keep, I don't know. I'm getting where's he at? You know what? I want your thoughts on this guy right here. Chad Baker-Mazara, who entered the portal today. I really want to know what you guys think on this one. I'm curious. What are your thoughts with Chad Baker-Mazara? Is this someone you look at? What's the number? There's no number. You just click the link. We have someone on the line. We got Mr. Brim. What's up?
Yeah, what's up, my brother?
Bro, I'm glad you called in. I've been wanting to take a sip of my beer.
Oh man, I had a sip earlier, but you know it's 7:26. I'm on East Coast time, but I got to work in 2.5 hours, so no more sipping for me. I had one beverage.
That's right. No more sipping. Gotta go to work.
We got clarity.
A little bit.
Yes, very clear picture here. So, you know, since you posed the question, before I talk about anything else, I'll answer the question. Personally, it's a big no for me, but skill set wise and match and fit for the team, to be honest, he would be a good fit for the team, to be honest. But for me personally, I'm cool on him. I would rather not have him, but if we did get him, I'd cheer him on because he's on my Hogs. But I'd rather them go a different direction personally.
I would too. I'm not saying I don't want to compare him to anybody. I just don't understand all the hype around this guy. Career-wise, 12 points, 3 boards, 3 assists. He can distribute around in the paint a little bit. He's got a little bit, you know, he's 6'7", 180 pounds. It would be a good fit. I don't know how big of an impact. I think at that spot on the floor, you're looking for someone who's more of an impact guy right now.
We can do better.
I agree.
And you see how the portal flowing, and that's why people was losing their minds and stuff. I'm like, yo, relax. The portal season, I mean, we're nowhere near the end yet. You know what I mean? So you know, I see Knox is testing the waters, which I'm definitely kind of understand because he's a fringe draftee. So for him to be able to give them the best that he got, they can give a feel of what his skill set is. And if it happens to be impressive enough to get drafted, then I wish him the best, even though personally, I need you back, dog. I need you back, big dog. I need Fort Knox back.
Fort Knox, need him back. He was such a solid two-way player for them, man. And you couldn't, like, if you wanted to up the tempo a little bit, he could play with you in fast tempo, could finish around the rim, terrific cutter, terrific cleanup guy if need be, right? He's not necessarily he's not a 4 or 5 piece for sure, but he's someone who can linger around a little bit and clean up around the rim. He could stretch the floor. He's kind of a little bit of everything, but you're right. He'd be a fringe pick. And I think this about a lot of guys that do this. This probably is a fairly obvious observation. I kind of wonder if this is someone telling him, like, look, go in. If you get this year early second round numbers or possibly 29, 30, whatever pick, you come back, you develop, and that's going to give you something else to navigate or to better facilitate your NIL worth. In other words, to help maybe get you a little bit of a bump. Like, look, I came on late on the year. I've got the size for the NBA in my position. You know what I'm capable of. And oh, by the way, they've already got me as a guy, borderline first round pick. I'm going to need a little bit more NIL dollars. I'm wondering if that might be a play here. I think it's a fairly obvious thing, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm looking at it.
I mean, I don't think you're wrong, but the truth of the matter is, I mean, Cal is involved in the process as well as he's talking with his family. You got to remember how connected he is with his family. So, you know, I'm sure he's like, listen, you know, the goal is to get you to the NBA. So if you're borderline, let's let them see what you got. If you can improve it to a point where they feel like he can get drafted to a position where you can be able to move forward in the NBA career, then I'm going to push you for that. But if not, I got you, so I'll bring you back, and you can be the integral piece of the team. Cal was part of that process, obviously.
Yeah, for sure. And he mentioned it. He mentioned it in that video. I don't know. You saw it, so
absolutely saw it. You know it. Come on now, Hog over here.
It's
great.
It's not a. I think that about every player when I read testing NBA waters, my immediate thought is, all right, he knows he's likely he's definitely not a lottery pick if he's testing the waters. If he's a lottery pick, he knows that already. He would have already declared. Yeah. What do you think? Like, we just kind of went over who's coming back. And then with the addition of Acuff, Malique, Sealy, what is your feel here, Brim? Like, is this a team that might actually upgrade from a year ago? I mean, I'm talking about the end of the year, that kind of what we got out of Jonas Adu, what we got out of Brazil. Like, thinking about that team, the team that got them to the tournament, is this a team you feel like can be just as competitive as that bunch?
I think it can actually be better, especially now that you're not dealing with a scramble, and then on top of that with injuries. So the consistency of being a good team probably will be in play next year, especially knowing the direction of where he's going with the team, who he's looking to add, and the defined roles for every guy that's going to be coming in. I think this team is going to end up being a better team overall than last year's team because of those elements.
I think you're right. And just the overall roster size, how many names do you think they get out of? Do you think we know they're going to get at least one more?
I think two more. I'm expecting. I mean, I was thinking that, okay, they had this amount of money ready for Native Mint, right? And, we're hearing Native Mint, Tennessee, that made a big push, and now it seems like they might be the front runners. So if they have that money for Native Mint, the things that are making me think is this. Okay, so if they was not getting Native Mint, then they would get two pieces that fit a specific role where they can pay the guys, a pretty solid premium for what they do, but, knowing that they particular are filling a role, because this is roster construction, so it ain't necessarily about just getting the best player there is. I think a guy that you can just like microwave 3-point guy, if there happens to be any gets in the portal before then you might look at that. And then another rough and tumble guy, another Pringle type of guy, who got some size, who can rebound, who can defend well, don't necessarily need the ball to score, but can be able to, get them offensive rebounds and putbacks, and play a particular role. Those are the type of guys I think that they're going to get if they don't get a splashy guy. Like one big guy, they'll get two of those.
Yeah. Yeah, you're probably really right. What do you make of the point guard spot? What's your, because this is the ongoing thing with Wagner and a freshman coming in. What are you thinking here?
All right, so I personally believe in DJ Wagner's development as a basketball player is going to be imperative to him to be able to be multifaceted. So him being able to play point guard and most of the time, be very, good with the ball will play a great role as him being a secondary ball handler, sometimes primary, but most of the time secondary. And this puts him in a position where he has to improve his, spot up game, his shot, his shot, his outside shot. So it's going to force him to cultivate his game a little bit. And you're going to see some different nuances in the DJ Wagner game. I personally believe with this roster, it actually puts him in a position to force him to improve on some other areas in his game, in my opinion.
So who's gonna hold down the point?
It's going to be a combination of him and Acuff. It's going to be mix and match. I think Acuff will probably be primary and DJ will be main secondary. So that means anytime Acuff is not on the floor, DJ Wagner will have the ball, but it'll be a mix and match. Sometimes he'll bring it up. Sometimes the Acuff will bring it up.
Acuff is nasty. I mean, he's nasty. Like, I've watched so much Acuff content. All of them, Malique too. But, I'll post stuff on YouTube Shorts every once in a while. Basically, when you see those shorts, when I post those, that's really just me watching those. I'm like, I got to cut this into a short, and I'll
make a little breakdown. Okay, so if you could classify his game, if you could associate Acuff's game with any combination or single player, what would you say his game is like?
Oh, that's tough. What do you mean? What do you mean?
About a similar game was, you know, when you watch him, this is the player that makes you feel like he's most similar to.
I'd have to think about that because he's pretty unique. You know, I mean, he is rated the number 1 point guard, and he is a fantastic distributor. I mean, he gets guys to their spots and he hits them in their open spot all the time. Anthony Black did some of that. Anthony Black was really good about getting guys to their spots, hitting them right.
Passes.
Say what?
Passes with great timing.
Obviously, he's not 6'7". He's not 6'7" point guard. You know, he's a little bit closer down to earth at 6'2", 6'3", whatever he's at now. Moves well to the basket. I mean, I think he could develop into probably being a really good two-way player on both offense and defense. I want to see more out of his I could be wrong. I've not watched a ton of his defense. I've been watching mostly just him facilitate the ball. I think Anthony Black does come to mind because he hits those guys in their spots. I don't
a smaller version with a better shot.
A smaller version with a better shot, and that was Black's problem as a freshman. Is he didn't really have a good.
He's still working. And, you know, he did go 3 for 3 against against the Hogs in that playing game. So shout out to AB.
Yeah, AB doing his thing. I'm loving it.
Playing a good solid role.
Acuff looks. I mean, one and done. I don't know otherwise. Like someone asked me if this was a Boogie Flan situation all over again. Like maybe he comes in and he doesn't really facilitate that point guard role very well, and it becomes more of just a cutter to the rim. And maybe his game gets delayed a little bit because of the timing.
He's a little stronger though. He's a little stronger than Boogie.
He is. He's stronger. He's taller. He's got better length. And I think he's a more capable not more capable. Let me take that back. Almost as capable of a scorer as Boogie was. Boogie was terrific. I mean, there's a reason why this guy was all SEC freshman and all world freshman, and the reason why he's going to be drafted most likely in the first round. Even though we all said he was going to be a lottery pick, but the year unfolded the way that it did with the injury. But I like Acuff's game a lot. But yeah, I struggle to compare because we only have high school footage, but
so you don't have a true comparison. And actually, and some of the concerns you have, especially with the younger guys now in the AAU scene and stuff, because I know it's different than when I played coach basketball. Defense sometimes is an option, Yeah. So you do be concerned about that. But he's been playing against the best though.
Yeah. Yeah. When you watch like their whether it's McDonald's All-American game, which, whatever, you watch them in the all these events, a lot of those events, which is a lot of where that hype film comes from, it's really just guys trying to show off their offensive, trying to puff out their offensive chest. They're not out there to play defense. They just, not that they don't get blocks and not that guys don't stand out defensively, but something I've noticed over the years, now that we have more access to that stuff, you pick up pretty quickly that these events are really just these guys showing off what they can do on offense. But I like that with Acuff, really just a really solid distributor. I think he's going to be a better point guard freshman if Wagner gets bumped to the 2. And it's good to have, by the way. It's good to have a couple of combo guards, by the way, that can pose up at the 1 and the 2. I think he's going to be a better distributor than Boogie was. I think he's going to be better. I think he will. I think it's going to be that level of Anthony Black playing the point. I think that's what we're going to get back to. Different system.
I got to give you a little pushback because the thing about, our team was struggling when Boogie was, playing at his best, unfortunately, when we in the SEC play. The truth of the matter is his plus minus, his turnover, his assist to turnover margin is ridiculously good.
Yeah.
Ridiculously good.
Well, that is fair. That is a fair argument, actually, about Boogie.
He was averaging almost 6 assists with like a turnover a game, 6 to 1. It was like 6 to 1 ratio. It was
rarely had 3 turnovers, playing the point, getting 30 plus minutes a game. Like that is pretty good. But the offense definitely flowed better, I think, because Wagner, who was not the scorer that Boogie was. But Wagner just knew how to facilitate better. He was more mature. You watched him giving out the signals, slowing guys down a little bit. You always trusted him most of the time up until that last play in the tournament.
You know what it is with DJ though? It's because when he gets ahead of steam going downhill, he can be a problem.
Yeah.
And Boogie didn't quite have that same, ability to get into the basket like that. So that him being a point guard with the ability to get to the basket like that opens some things up at times for cutters and other players to be to get theirs because of what he's able to do getting to the basket. But I want to ask you a question because I think there's a player that is not on the radar really, but he might end up playing a bigger role than we expect, and that's Ratal.
Oh, yeah? I don't know.
But I think we're all sleeping on him right now, and the thing is he might be more ready than we expect.
I have not watched a lot on him. When he committed, first thing I did was, when I think he committed when I was on my cruise. No, wait. I remember when he committed, I was on my phone, and I just quickly pulled up what I could.
It was either right before or right after. I think it was right before.
It might have been, but I remember pulling my phone up and just kind of watching briefly on what I could find on him. Maybe he is. Maybe he's the sleeper on this team.
Because he's not a 16-year-old. He's not a 16-year-old. He's not a 17, 18-year-old. I think he's 20. So he's a little more experienced. He's been playing against, I understand that, some foreign teams are maybe not as good, but I think he played, on a higher level, in Yugoslavia, because I think that's where he's from. But it'll be interesting to see. I mean, we have an understanding of what our roster is potentially going to shape up to be.
He's I like his size too. You talk about his age. I like what he's going to do because I don't know where they fit him in. Honestly, I think he could. I guess he's going to play the 4 spot on the floor.
He's a 3-4 tweener.
Yeah, not great on offense. Like as far as scoring, I think he was like 8 or 9 points a game.
No, he got a decent bag. I watched because I got a chance to watch I watched about 4 or 5 videos of him, some stuff from 2 or 3 years ago, some stuff from more recently. He got a decent offensive bag. It's not shabby, and he can, he's respect. You can't leave him open from 3 and thinking he's gonna just miss it. He'll knock it down.
Yeah, he was like 32%, I think, outside. He wasn't bad for someone at 6'9". You're fine with that, right? I mean, that's not much shorter than Brazil, and we saw what Brazil could do when he got hot outside. You don't leave him open. Maybe he does. I think he's probably. I feel like when he committed, it was more of a defensive. Like you're getting a guy that's going to help you a little bit more outside defensively. He's going to have that length. He's going to have better reach. I don't know. What I am curious about though, it is the point guard spot. What they do there. I love that Brazil's back. I don't care. The hate on Brazil is still there. There's still some people who are just like underestimating Brazil. I shouldn't say hate, but like the disrespect of Brazil. The way that dude played.
You can say hate. You can say
hate. You think?
Yeah, I mean, Brazil had, he gave us such a great start. His expectations got up here, and then once he got injured, the process of that coming back, being tentative, not being comfortable with a coach that was halfway checked out, situations and circumstances, rumors, goofy stuff. It's all right. TB, he persevered, and his opportunity came, and he balled out. And regardless if he gets drafted in the NBA after this next year, he has the opportunity to be all SEC player, impact player, and the team is going to be surrounded in part front court wise around TB.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. And that's the thing. I don't understand the disrespect. Maybe you and I are just higher on him than everyone else. What do you make of really quick? Obviously, Thero and Flan, they're gone. They're not coming back. I was a little surprised both of them. I thought one of them would return. How important? I know it's obvious, but I want you to talk about really quick because I respect your basketball knowledge. You coached it. You know it. You've been on here a million times when we talk hoops. How big is it to have these core guys back? Just how big is that?
If you look at the last, I guess, 20 years of championship basketball teams for the most part, they're looking at over 45 to 50% of their retention of scoring from the previous year.
Yep.
So, in my personal opinion, even though we could get a player just as good as Knox or anything like that, but having Knox on the team to me is the difference between being a Final Four team or a Sweet 16 and an Elite 8 team if he does go to the pro.
So you're
just
saying
because of continuity.
You're saying the core is good, but get Knox back and this is a legit contender.
Yeah, and I'm just basing it. If you're just basing it on just pure numbers and data, Knox returning with the team would put us at about, I think it's about 46 or anywhere between 46 and 51% of our overall scoring coming back. So if we get that type of returning play, I think it bodes well for everybody else that's coming onto the team and their roles being defined and getting off to that start that you need to as a team and building the chemistry as a team and as a unit. I just see how I'm feeling this year is going to be a better team.
I think so too. And I think the freshmen. Well, look, the freshmen this year had a huge impact on this team, and I think it's going to be more of the same. Yeah, John, we addressed this. We already played the video of Cal talking about the players coming back. That's what we're talking about with the retention and these guys getting the core group of players back, how important that is. That is big. What do you make of who do you like out of the portal, Brim? I know you got someone. Jamir Watkins.
I kind of don't. It's kind of weird. Because I like Watkins, but fit-wise, I don't know if he's the right fit for the team. Okay. Even though I like his individual game. There's so many players that's now popping up in the portal. Like, rumor is, Kentucky getting Stojakovic's son from Stanford. Then, the Memphis guy, what's his name? Starts with an H. I can't remember his name off the top of my head.
PJ Haggerty.
Haggerty. Yeah, Haggerty. Yeah. So I just really think Cal can play the weight game.
Okay.
Now that a lot of things have been solidified and laid out, now he can do the phase 2 of patience in the weight game. We just went through the whole phase 1 of us waiting and sitting here and people, some people panicking and some people like me was like, I'm chilling. This is what I'm expecting, because I got a taste of what Calipari's done and I watched from afar when he was at Kentucky. So I don't have any, bad preconceived notions. I know what to expect. So you're going to hear our name on some stuff, but man, they're going to be low key. And I know he's going to keep one spot open for that June 15th draft date for players to pull out.
Yeah. Yeah, probably right. I do think they need a scorer. I think they need someone like a Haggerty, I think would be huge. I mean,
I don't agree.
You don't agree?
Mm-mm.
22
Not
points.
You need a shooter. We got a bunch of scores. Yeah. Even though he's a freshman, Malik Thomas is a scorer. Knox is a scorer on the low. See, Knox can play bully ball and score in difficult traffic situations. That's why I feel like his sophomore year, he's going to be averaging anywhere between 13 and 15 points a game given.
But Haggerty's a scorer, though. I mean, this dude can finish at the rim, and he's got a shot. I mean,
yeah, but you're talking about. I didn't say you said score. I said I don't necessarily. We need a score. We need a shooter.
Okay, so he's 36% last year outside.
Absolutely, but there's certain demands that come with his presence. And if you look at the construction of our roster, as great as it would be to put him on that team, does it make the team more fluid, or does it create a cluster jam?
Yeah, that's fair.
I'd take him in a heartbeat. Don't get it twisted. But, and I do personally think that there is the bag there available for one big shot, considering that if we've been in the Met sweepstakes for this entire time, that means they got $3 to $3.5 million around for 2 players if need be. So they can be patient and wait to see what the landscape plays out and see who to grab.
I just don't think they're going to get him in. I thought he was, I will say, I thought he was Duke bound and maybe he's not now. I guess Tennessee got involved, but it never has really felt like Arkansas was ever in the lead for him.
You're right. I agree. I mean, I was more just like hopeful, just thinking, oh man, this kind of guy's a little bit unicorny. I'd like to have him on the squad. But
oh man.
But again, I think Cal has positioned himself really well when you look at the landscape, knowing that if he's in the immense sweepstakes, we know that in some sense, when it comes to budgeting wise, we have enough money for 2 impact players. But those impact players probably need to be the right role. That's why I said more of a shooter, not a scorer, a shooter. That means he doesn't necessarily need the ball in his hand, and he won't command and demand the ball as much, but he'll get the ball, hit shots, play that role, have a good field goal percentage, and do some of the other little things you would need a shooter, that can do. And then another rough and tumble guy like Pringle, maybe a little bit more of an offensive bag, but definitely you got to be in the defensive bag. And I think that fills the roster out, man. In my opinion, I think that I would be cool with that roster right there.
I would be too. Pringle's a good get. It's kind of I don't think anyone had a better day, maybe even better week than what Arkansas's had this week. Getting these guys to commit, and then you get these guys, you get your core group of players coming back. This is a hell of a week for Arkansas basketball, man. And Pringle,
absolutely, very clear.
Pringle was a great get, and then Malique Ewin. I love this. Ewin is a bully. Watched a lot of his film too. He's a bully around the post, man. He's 6'11". Like, I think ESPN says he's 230. He plays like he's 250.
He has a little bit of a Olajuwon and with his movement, and to the post. So I look forward to seeing him be able to shake and bake a little bit on some of these guys. But I really think he's going to create opportunities for the other guys for scoring. His assist rate, he's going to probably average over 2 assists a game, because he is going to be able to get the ball in the paint and kick out for some shots. So I definitely look forward to seeing him on the squad and him playing. It's interesting, man. We did all this football stuff starting to go around, and I think it's like an elephant in the room that nobody really wants to talk too deeply on football yet. You notice that, right? It's like we skirt around it. We talk about it, but we skirt around it a little bit.
I had planned on this being like an hour and a half live, where we talk probably 80% about basketball, and then we get into the football stuff, because we do have football stuff.
Yeah, we do. There's a lot of stuff going on. I'm trying to pay attention. It's just that I'm invested in all my Razorbacks, but I'm not invested in my soul right now. So that means I don't have my heart's in it, but I'm not setting myself with any expectations. Whatever they do is whatever they do.
It sucks.
I just want them to win.
Saturday might be rained out, and it looks like that's going to happen. I had heard that this was, if it does happen, it wasn't going to be televised. And yet I thought I heard Pittman say something about TV. Maybe I heard it wrong. Maybe I heard him wrong. I didn't think it was going to be televised. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think it matters. I don't think it's going to happen, which does suck. I was kind of looking forward to going and seeing for myself kind of what's going on. But yeah, need another splash score for sure, says Matt. Yeah, I think you're right. Ewin has a bag, boy. He's nasty. If you haven't watched his highlights, go watch him. He is a lob monster. Someone said Tercer said he's a lob monster. That is as accurate a description as you can have for him. Very high IQ guy around the post, man. I mean, he'll do whatever. I think he's someone who's not intent on being a high scoring guy. He's going to do whatever it takes to win. It's the vibe I get from him just watching his highlight stuff. Brim, I appreciate you calling in, man. I know you're eating and you gotta get ready for work.
Yeah, I didn't want to be rude and talk while I was chewing, but this spaghetti's kind of slamming because she made spaghetti before she left out to Philadelphia. I'm like, have a good week. Enjoy the rest of your week. Home, Macaulay Culkin. Woo!
My wife's cooking dinner. I can smell it. It's wafting into the studio room, and I'm like, oh my god!
I'm ready. It's checkout time right now, Ty. It's like,
I'm getting there. I gotta get some football talk out of the way, but yeah. Hey, I appreciate you calling in, man. We'll do this again.
Always, my brother. You have a blessed one. You too.
Yeah, another score couldn't help, or shooter, as he mentioned, couldn't hurt. I like the options that are out there, man. I do. I think that there's with Haggerty, Jamir Watkins. I think someone had mentioned to me about Ian Jackson. I think he committed somewhere, if I'm not mistaken. Georgia Tech, Bay Indongo. He's not a shooter. 6'9", 240. I think he is not available anymore, by the way, for whoever just DM'd me about him. Abdi Bashir, I think he committed elsewhere. Tyrone Riley committed elsewhere. We know Jaden Quintaints. I said it like that on purpose. He is not. He is. He's off the list, if you will. Until the football program exceeds 6-6 consistently, the men's basketball will continue to dominate the headlines, podcasts, and chats. Here's the thing. I've been doing this for a while. On YouTube, I think I've been doing it longer than anybody. I could be wrong. I'm sure there's someone out there floating around that has been doing it as long or longer than I have. But on a regular full-time basis, I've done it since about 2019. And then 2020, I took helped develop another show. Did it again in 22 when I went to Hogville. But in all the years I've been doing this, and I've mentioned this before, I've never seen Razorback football just be so there's just no excitement for the game. There's no excitement for Razorback football. Oh, Ian Jackson has not committed anywhere. Has he not? I could have sworn his name are from North Carolina. He hasn't committed anywhere. Ian Jackson would be an interesting get. He was a freshman last year. He's someone that long-term could be a big-time player wherever he ends up. He was a freshman last year. He's like 6'5". I think he's 6'5", 200 pounds. As a freshman, he was like 12 points, 3 boards, 1 assist a game, shot around 46%. Thought I had him up on my screen, and I don't. But I'm trying to remember all that off the top of my head. I thought he committed elsewhere. Maybe not. If you guys are just getting in here, make sure you like, share, subscribe. Sorry, I was behind in the live. Oh, you're good. It happens. I do that sometimes too. I hop in a live chat and then I'm way behind. Talking about football here, Tercer says same here. I used to think about football year round. Now I haven't even got it any. I haven't given it any mind. Yeah. Brim says we're a basketball school. Here's the thing. I think the state, it's a football state that desperately wants the Razorbacks to be a football school, but in reality, you're a baseball basketball school. That's what Arkansas is. It's a baseball basketball school. It just is. We win in the ship. Oh, what's up, Mello? How you doing, man? Remember, if you're in Discord, you get a shot. If you call in, there's the link. If you are in Discord, you get your name added to a wheel and you get 4K XP. You get your name added to a wheel to win an autographed former Arkansas or possibly current Arkansas player. No, wait, I don't think I have a current player autographed card right now. But yeah, one of these bad boys right here in this pile. These are all autographed cards, all Arkansas player cards. So if you call in and you're in Discord, you get 4K XP and you get your name on the wheel. Right now, that list is 0. What's up, Kyle? How you doing? Hey, speaking of someone in Discord right here, there you go, Kyle. And again, if you're just joining us, Cal mentioned everybody's coming back. Knox is testing the water. Everyone that hasn't already officially declared for the NBA draft. Yeah, the point guard position is, to me, it should be the most important position on the floor. That's your floor general, man. That's your guy that's got to hit those open spots. He's got to be the guy calling out the sets. You know, he's the guy that you want to lead your team when they're in a huddle, when they're on the floor. You want him jawing at his guys when they're not doing great. You want them slapping butts when they're doing good. That's what you want out of your point guard, your leader on the floor, and a guy that just distributes the ball and is filthy with it. Acuff is that. Top elite player. Malik Thomas is also elite. Isaiah Seeley, who is a 4-star. Don't expect him to contribute too much year one. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that's the guy we're sleeping on is Seeley, the freshman out of Springdale. Acuff is a point guard. Yes, he is. That is correct. He is a point guard. That's what you want. You want them to be high level distributors, right? Y'all sleeping on Sealy. There it is. Someone's telling us we're sleeping on the young man from Springdale. Football really quick. We have some names really fast. Why are they not on my... Oh, here we go. Yeah, man. So, first up, this is what we know, okay? They have reached out to Julian Neal from Fresno State. Pull up his... I think y'all should be excited about football. Maybe that's just me, but I think you should be. I really think they're going to be better than what a lot of people think. Now, to be fair, a lot of people think this team doesn't go bowling. I just disagree. Julian Neal, 6'2", 200 pound. Pretty decent PFF grades. You see his numbers there on screen. Again, if you're a Discord Patreon member, you can go look at his complete profile. We have it. That's not just stats. That's some other information. He has been offered. He is visiting. Neal has, I'll just tell you, he's got a whole bunch of snaps at corner. To be honest, someone with this size, I have not watched a ton on him. I need to watch more film on him. That's something I'm going to do, and I'm probably going to put together a little Patreon video for some of these guys. But Julian Neal is offered and will visit. So there's one name right there. Oh, I got the stupid. I wish that would just pop off when I share my screen. Wouldn't it be great if that would just do that instead of it being there? I hate that. They all said that last year. Yeah. Just live your life. Yeah. Oh, yeah, we got baseball coming up. We need to wrap this up. I said I'd be done, but I forgot when I was putting the show together. I did actually plan for this to be an hour and a half, and then I said we got baseball at 7. Baseball's messing me up. The weather is messing me up this week. I'm not even going to lie about it. Really quick, there's your first guy right there, Julian Neal, who's been offered. Next up is Dylan. Hold on. Where did you go? Dylan Williams out of UTEP. Here he is. This is another guy. This is a safety. 5'11", 188 pounds. A little bit more limited. Didn't have as many snaps. He has 118 career snaps at free safety. He was a 3-star that signed with North Texas. He then transferred to UTEP in 24. Had a little bit more productive year. Definitely a guy that's getting better as the year moves along, or as his career moves along. Some of y'all are like, yeah, we're not worried about baseball yet. We can just keep up with the score. We can. And then next up is Philip Lee, defensive end, 6'4", 240. I'm not shocked they're going after a defensive end. We know they're going to get at least one defensive lineman. It might be Philip Lee. This is a guy who I'm pretty sure he's blowing up. His recruiting out of the portal is starting to heat up a little bit. He had 5 sacks, a forced fumble a year ago. He also had a pass broken up. He can play off the ball. He can line up at linebacker. He's kind of a Swiss Army player at that size, 6'4", 240. Make no mistake about it. If he wants to play at end and he wants to be a rush guy in this defensive line, if he wants to be an edge rusher, you'd like to see him up at about 260, 270, 6'4", 240. He may cut it where Troy plays, but it's good to put on some weight. Out of Jacksonville, Florida. So he will have at least a year of eligibility. I'm pretty sure he's got 1 year left of eligibility. I don't know if how that still holds up as far as, the eligibility stuff. We know the NCAA has really goofed that all up, but yeah, obviously if he's a junior and he's going into his senior year. But yeah, 5 sacks a year ago with a forced fumble. He can rush off the edge. Obviously he's got 5 sacks, but he can play off the ball. Be a really good pickup, whoever gets Philip Lee. That's what sucks about being a team like Troy or Arkansas State or Tulsa, any of these group of 5 or smaller schools. You get a really good player, and then he's off to the big leagues. That's just how it is now, you know. Group of 5 schools, basically AAA ball. I mean, let's just be real. Also excited to see what Madden does. Oh, man. I've been working on a Madden Amaliava video, and I can't make up my mind if I want to do a long-form script, like an actual edited video on Madden Amaliava and the quarterback situation, or if I just want to make a quick 2-minute video for Patreon supporters. I can't make up my mind. But I love that everything's kind of coming through for him. Madden Amaliava, listen, whatever happens next, let's say you do make a coaching change. Sam Pittman doesn't survive the gauntlet, the road games he has this year. We know, we've talked about it over and over. Very tough. If he survives the gauntlet, you feel pretty good about keeping Petrino, maybe. Well, I shouldn't say that. You never know. I'm glad we got him for 2 years, but it'd be wonderful if you could win 8 games and just keep Madden Amaliava around. I do think he'd be the quarterback of the future. Everything I keep hearing, everything I'm told, everything I've read, what little bit of footage you see out there on him, he's already comfortable. He's sliding right into that spot. And I said last week I think he ends up being QB2. I know KJ Jackson is still I know Pittman still likes him. But something about Madden Amaliava, the confidence he already has as a freshman, the arm talent, I think he's a little bit above. Now, listen, if he doesn't beat out KJ Jackson, don't get it twisted. Like, oh, that's it. It's over, right? No. This is going to be a long-term deal, assuming Pittman can stick around long enough. Now, if, again, Pittman moves on, gets fired, whatever, if he retires, whatever the hell happens, then you better hope whoever you bring in, you want to hang on to a guy like Madden Amaliava. Now, I'm not telling you that he's going to be some all-American first-round draft prospect. I'm not saying that at all. But what little I actually saw of him in person, remember, I got to go to one day of spring camp. He already looked pretty confident to me. I mean, that was the thing that I said. Pretty sure I said that in a Patreon video. Like, man, he's just confident in his arm. Not afraid to blast it downfield. And this is the thing about Green that we're reading about and that we're hearing about. And what I'm being told is, man, it's like he just wants to tuck the ball and run. He doesn't actually want to throw to a check down. He doesn't actually want to or throw downfield like he was doing last year. I think some of that, it's just spring camp. It's a scrimmage. You know, we know what he could do out of the pocket with his arm. In fact, I would argue that he was very accurate when he was outside of the pocket, you know, moving around with the ball in his hands. Very accurate. Could throw a strike way downfield. Unfortunately, a couple of those were dropped, you know. Very rarely it felt like those were way off. Not that it's not like he was 100% when he was out of the pocket, but we know he's got the confidence. I wouldn't look too much into those reports that he was just, you know, and I think Pittman even mentioned it, that he just wasn't trying to stretch the field, I think is what Pittman was trying to get at. Maybe I heard it wrong. I don't have the transcript in front of me, but I wouldn't read too much into that because we've seen him do it before. The question is going to be with these new receivers, with these new options, you know, on offense and what they've got going on up front. That's the other thing. The offensive line has not been lights out yet. Like, we haven't had that report from Sam. I think we did hear him say we like the bunch, we like the group, but we haven't heard them go off on just like a tangent about how great the offensive line has been so far. Now, again, you've got a lot of new faces. You've got a lot of new people up there. You got a lot of change. It's going to take time. It might take until the end of fall camp. I'm fine with that if that's the case, because that's just the typical offseason. It's just what happens. That's the process. You got to trust it. Maybe it takes them a few games to really, you know, play well together to get it figured out. But I think they're going to end up being better if I'm honest, up front on the offensive line. I think they're going to be better. Yeah, right. Just know if I say the show's going to be an hour long and we're going to end it before the baseball game, just know that that's not going to happen. It's like back when I used to say this is going to be a 45-minute show, and then that show would go on for an hour and a half. You know how these things go. I mean, come on. Acuff, Wagner, blah, 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 blah. We winning the ship, boy. They're pretty loaded. Hog Blitz says, Ty, something Petrino might have lost his luster. Thing is his power is limited. Back in the day, our team was confident and on the verge of arrogance. Much of it was attitude. Sam is in charge of that. Okay. Yeah, I mean, typically your team does. They tend to reflect your coach. I mean, that's what you always hear, right? Aggies score first. Well, I think we'll probably put a pin in it here. We'll end it here. Big day for Arkansas. Big week for the Razorbacks for basketball. Keep an eye out on the portal. Again, don't lose hope on Razorback football this year. I'm telling you, I think they're going to be better than people realize. The question is how many wins is that worth? That's the question. Can the defense, for the love of God, we know they're going to go after guys in the secondary. Got to get better. The defense has got to get better in the secondary. Sounds like they're off to a pretty good start, though. There is that. But yeah, I do appreciate everyone. Shout out to the sponsors, Direct Service Overhead, the Garage Door Company. Didn't add any names tonight. Disappointing. No names added to the list for the cards. This is 2 shows in a row where nobody from Discord called in. That's disappointing. Damn, I thought y'all would call in. Nobody. Maybe over the weekend. We might just have to get to a total number of people who've called in before we do the wheel spin. We might set it at like 10. And I might have to start making a list. And that might take us all damn spring camp to get there. I don't know. Kind of figured a few of you would call. Nobody. Melis and the NCAA attorneys. Yeah. It feels like the tournament's a given, right? Feels like the NCAA tournament's a given. We started off 1-6 last year, and we thought, no way in hell. And then they ended up going to the Sweet 16. So who knows? Yeah. All right. So again, shout out to sponsors, Direct Service Overhead, and of course, BroThrow, peer-to-peer sports betting. Promo code Tusk if you want to get in on that. You still got. I mean, you can bet on. You got the NBA playoffs coming up. You can go right on over to BroThrow, and of course, Direct Service Overhead. The best in garage doors, man, all over Central Arkansas. Give them a call or check the link provided for you down below. Patreon supporters, I do appreciate you. I will see you. This is probably it, unless we have something else worth going live over. I don't know. Probably not. If we lose to Memphis or Arkansas State, man, oh man. Well, yeah, sure. And it could happen. We've certainly lost to teams they had no business losing to before. It could happen. I just think it's going to be. I think they're going to be better than last year, at least on offense. I think overall they could be better. I think they will be better. It's just a matter of how many games does that come to? How many games can you win? So, yeah. All right. Appreciate you guys. I will see you when I see you next time. How about that, right? I'll see you when I see you. Be good and enjoy the game. Oh, yeah, doubleheader tomorrow for Arkansas baseball. Razorbacks playing right now, trailing 1-0. I'm going to eat dinner and watch the game and put the kiddos to bed. You guys have a good night.